Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Mike Holes, the head football coach at Croslex. How's it going?
Hey, it's good. It's good. Appreciate you doing this, and it's nice to get coverage and being able to kind of talk about Pioneer football. And so, really appreciate you, having me on.
Okay, so for people that may not know, recap last year. Of course, it was your first year at Croslex. And also what is this team going to be like heading into year two?
Last year we had a lot of seniors that had played a lot of varsity football, so we had a really experienced team. We finished the season 7-2 in the regular season. Had a tight loss at the end of game 9 with Freeland. We were up by 20 or 25, something like that, and late in the game, and managed to kind of let that one slip away. And we got our playoff draw. And sorry, I had somebody calling me. We had our playoff draw. We had Harper Woods game 1, and the eventual state champion. Played them to a 20-13 game. We had some guys that made some plays, and it was great to see us playing at that level. I think the one thing I took away was it was too bad our kids didn't get to experience that, that 2, 3, 4 playoff game run, which, was really cool when that happens. But sometimes you play the best team first, and that's okay.
Yeah. So time to go through all the players and talk about the returners and as well as some of the guys to watch this year. We'll start with the skill positions and go from there.
So we have twin brothers, John and Bill Herman, that both will play like our running back slot type of a position on offense. And they both had a decent number of carries last year. Neither one of them was kind of the main running back last season, but this season, John Herman will be the main running back, and his brother Bill will play slot. And those are the two guys that we kind of see running the ball the majority of the time. Our tight end H-back players from last year are both returning. Reese Noel and Noah Jackson both play that position. We like to use that tight end fullback position quite a bit, so those guys will see a lot of time on the field on offense. We have a couple of receivers that I think are going to have a good season this year. Shane Slanik will be a junior, and he had a pretty good summer this summer in our 7-on-7 stuff. Cody Mativiers had an ankle injury all summer, so we haven't really had a chance to see him, this summer do much. And then Nolan Campbell is coming over from playing corner last year. He's going to play both corner and outside receiver this year. So, we've got some guys out there that we feel like we want to get the ball to.
Yeah. Let's go to offensive and defensive line.
Yeah, so we have 2 starting offensive linemen back, Landon Burns and Brody Bohorski. And then Ian Kita was a sophomore last year that played about half the time on the offensive line. So it's kind of like having 2.5 starters back. So those 3 guys are coming back. We have Jaden Postel will be a senior, big, tall kid, strong powerlifting kid. So he's going to play some tackle. And then we have a kid who didn't play last year. His name's Carter Ramage, and we're hoping that he might take one of the guard positions, as well as Will Hine, who was a backup last year. So those are some of the guys we're kind of looking at to be on our offensive line.
Yeah, and then defensive line, what's that looking like?
I'm gonna be honest, man, it's the same kids. It's the same guys, right? There's a few other guys that are gonna kind of mix in a little bit there, but really, we're a little more thin this year. With the big guys, we don't have as many, and so that's going to be an area of concern for us. So,
okay, and then of course let's go to linebackers and secondary.
Yeah, Noah Jackson played linebacker last year, and he had a really good year. He's returning. He's much bigger now. Then we have that other spot is up for grabs, and we have a couple guys that are looking to play there. Gavin Dureka is a senior, and he played that position last year, was a backup. He's looking to step in and possibly win that position, as well as Alando Mendoza, who did not play last year, but he's back this year. He's one of our baseball basketball kids. So we got him out for football, and he has an opportunity to step in and play that linebacker spot. We might have a couple of young kids maybe that could play there too, but that inside linebacker position is kind of up for grabs for one guy to take. The Herman twins play the outside linebacker spot, and they're both returning starters.
Okay. Secondary, what's that looking like?
Jack Fagan is going to play safety. He was our JV team's best player last year, arguably the best player on the field in most of the games that we played in. And kid's a hitter. He wants to come up and knock people down. And so we get our safety involved in the run game a lot, and that's a really good spot for him.
Yeah. Special team.
Our two.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, our two corners. Nolan Camp. Yeah, Nolan Campbell was one of our starting corners last year, and then the other corner spots up for grabs. Caden Osmolowski is a junior who's played there this summer, and he's looking to try to take that spot, as well as senior Braylon Collins is also trying to take that spot, and Austin Mendoza is also trying to get in there at that corner spot. So, yeah, got some competition.
Okay, now let's go to special teams.
Yeah, we have both of our kickers back, actually. We had two kids that are soccer kids that dual sport, and they both, they're both coming back. And one of the kids did extra points, and the other kid did kickoffs. And, I told him, I said, guys, it's a competition. I said, so whichever one of you is best at it, that's who's going to do it. So, we've had both of our kickers back.
So, all right. And okay, so now we've talked about the kids. Now it's now let's go through the schedule. Starting off with of course, starting off on the road at Saginaw Swan Valley on August 29th. September 6th, home against Armada. September 13th, home against Richmond. September 20th at North Branch. September 27th, home against Almont. October 4th at Algonac. October 11th, home against Imlay City. October 18th at Yale, and then finishing out the regular season, October 25th at Ogama Heights. So pretty good schedule. This is obviously, obviously, I believe you, if I'm not mistaken, you are from this area. So this conference, what was it like? The Blue Water Area Conference is always a tough conference. So what's the league going to look like this year?
We start out with Swan Valley, and they got a lot of guys back off of last year's team. They had a really good JV team, so that first game is going to be tough, especially with as many guys as we lost as starters. Having a lot of first game varsity starting players this year going up to Swan Valley is going to be pretty tough. So, we open with a tough one on the road, and then Armada is going to be one of the best teams in the BWAC. They have. It was funny at the all league meeting last year. Everybody was putting up their players, and I was like the only guy who had seniors. Everybody else had juniors, and sophomores. And so, the whole conference has all of their guys back, and specifically Armada. They do. They have a lot of their pieces from last year's team back, and that's going to be a really tough home opener, the BWAC opener, right? That's going to be a really tough game. Richmond has a 4-year starter at quarterback. So the next game. That's a tough one. And then after that, North Branch has been pretty solid as well. So, we're really front loaded in our schedule. We play Imlay City and Algonac, who are the two teams who have been at the bottom of the league the last handful of years. And we don't play them till the end of the conference schedule. And so, we're really kind of front loaded there with the best teams in the conference first.
Yeah, for sure. And then of course, ending the regular season with a really, really tough Ogama Heights team, who of course is now in a new conference with the Jackpine.
Yeah, that was an interesting matchup. I probably sent 300 emails asking for anybody to play game 9, and it was hard because everybody either already had a game or they were scheduling somebody and that kind of thing. And it's tough. I mean, I know that we've changed our playoff point stuff, and it's supposed to help scheduling. I don't know if it really helps scheduling. I think it just changed the target. I still think that there's a lot of that, and football in the nature of itself, I think there's going to be, it's always going to be hard to get games. I mean, we had a couple options. It was going all the way over to Grand Rapids West Catholic or go over to Zeeland West or West Branch. And so, I mean, I kind of chose what I think, I guess, is the closer of those options. And it'll be fun. We've got a JV varsity doubleheader on that Friday, which is cool. And it's kind of a unique weekend anyway, because you don't know who you're playing in the playoffs. So you don't really have a lot of work to do Saturday on an opponent because you don't know who you're playing. So it's going to be kind of a cool trip, a cool trip for our whole program to go up there.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Mike, thank you so much for taking the time, and best of luck to Croslex. But actually, I should ask this: what is the timeline really? What is this program going to look like in the next few weeks before we really get going on the 12th?
Yeah, so we have team camp tonight and Wednesday, and we have our final 7-on-7 on Tuesday. And then, when we get the preseason downtime, when we hit August 1st, we don't do anything. We don't. We give those kids that time. It's important for their families and stuff to be able to have a week to go on vacation. Same with the 4th of July week. Obviously, that's what's called the dead week. I mean, there's really nothing that goes on that 4th of July week.
Right.
But that first week in August, we usually take that time. I know my family, we go on a vacation at that time and everything. So, we'll start back up on August 12th, and we kind of do a double session, as much as you can. We kind of do a double session that first week, and we have an inter squad scrimmage on that first Saturday, and just trying to prep and get ready for the scrimmage, and then really getting ready for game one. So, you kind of break it into some chunks like that, and it'll be here before you know it.
Absolutely. All right. Mike Holes, the head football coach at Croslex. Thank you so much for taking the time, and we will talk to you soon. Best of luck to you guys. Best of luck to you guys this coming season.
Yep. Appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.